where both players are going to have to see who can get to 21st, since both of them have the Queen's Castle on board. They're both gaining lore at the start of their turn. I think Steven is a little bit ahead in that the Queen's Castle is going to gain lore a little bit faster than Jermaine will. So Jermaine's going to have to put some pressure on, but to do that first, you have to respond to Steven.
Yeah, when it comes down to like this back and forth lore race, like you said, is that where going first really becomes the advantage?
Yes, absolutely. It becomes the advantage just because one person can gain lore faster than the other. So in Disney Lorcana, you're having to respond to that and eventually put yourself into the position of being the aggressor. That's why we talk about the aggressor and the reactor in this game. If you can switch the tides and make it so that your opponent is responding to you, then you're in the best seat.
Yeah, and we saw a second Queen's Castle come down on Steven's side, which that is just a lot to have to deal with. Two castles, neither of them with any damage on them, both gaining 2 lore at the start of Steven's turn. What do you do here?
There's not much that you can do. Like we mentioned, even with the Maui by itself isn't going to take out the Queen's Castle. Jermaine doesn't have a Maui in hand. Even if they did, you'd be able to play the Maui, challenge with the Pascal to get rid of one of them, but getting rid of 2 of them, it's going to be super tough. I mean, we see Jermaine also play a second one, moving the Pascal to the castle. So both players are going to gain 4 lore at the start of their next turn. We see Jermaine quest with the Pascal, getting a little bit of a lead on Steven.
What's interesting about this situation is that so many of the cards in Ruby are meant to deal with characters that your opponent has on the board. So when your opponent doesn't have characters on the board and just these locations, it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that Queen's Castle sees so much play in Amethyst, is specifically for that reason. A lot of cards in Disney Lorcana are able to banish characters, even in Steel, not even just in Ruby, but in very popular colors. And so when you play the Queen's Castle, if they don't already have characters on board, it's really difficult for them to respond to, which means you might get 2 lore out of the Queen's Castle. If you get more than that, you're even happier. I mean, these Queen's Castles have basically gotten them all the way from 10 close to 20 at this point.
Now, what's really interesting about what just happened, tell us more about this thinking here, but Steven just played Be Prepared for just a Pascal.
Yeah, so Steven knows that he is going up to 17 lore at that next turn that he played to Be Prepared. So he knows that if Jermaine can't get rid of one of these Queen's Castles this turn, then he's just going to go up to 20 on the next turn if Jermaine passes. And we see this pay off because Jermaine played Be Prepared, got rid of the Pascal, and then Jermaine found the Maui, was able to challenge with the Maui, but couldn't use the Pascal challenge, and get rid of the Queen's Castle.
That is, I don't know that I've ever seen a Ruby Amethyst mirror match come down to just the battle of the castles like that before.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen so many castles in play at one time, but both players basically just said, hey, I have to race you in some capacity, so I'm going to play these castles. If you can't respond to them, then I'm going to end up winning. And we saw both players ended up not really even playing very many characters because of the reason that you mentioned, that Ruby has just a lot of character removal. So that was an interesting game for sure.
And that one poor little Pascal that got taken out by Be Prepared. Oh, poor Pascal. Rapunzel's crying somewhere.
Unfortunate Pascal for sure.
Well, it'll be really interesting to see the next game. Like, what do you think each of the players is thinking going into this next game?
I think they'll have to focus, like you mentioned, on who's going first. Whoever's going first knows that they're going to have to put the pressure on. We saw the Flynn Riders. If you can get a Flynn Rider down, and then you can play a Sisu after that, start gaining that lore really quickly, you're in a really good spot. And then whoever is going second is going to have to find cards that they can use to respond to the opponent and hopefully take back that priority and being able to push the race themselves.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at this next game then. Ready?
Let's go.
All right. Now, do you know who was playing first last game?
I never think to look. It looks like Steven is going first, though, inking a Madam M Snake, not having a 1-drop, which isn't great. It's definitely not game-ending or anything, but if you can, you almost always want to curve out, is the term they like to use in trading card games, which just means playing a 1-drop on turn 1, a 2-drop on turn 2, and etc. So talking about setting the priority and being the aggressor, by not having a one-drop in play, you almost immediately hand that role over to Jermaine, being able to play their character like Pascal, and now Jermaine's going to be able to play a character very likely, which will give Pascal evasive, because Pascal has a fun ability that as long as there's another character in play, then he will gain evasive, and then quest with Pascal, now Jermaine has the lore lead.
Yes, and we see that Flynn come out, like you said. Who's going to have that Flynn first?
Yeah, it's hard for me to see if Jermaine has a Sisu in their hand or not. It doesn't look like it unless it's that very last card on the right. But just having a Flynn in play at all can be really threatening. We do see Steven play their own Sisu, even though they don't have a Flynn, and this is a pretty strong play because Sisu's going to have a bunch of strength because Jermaine has a bunch of cards in her hand. So you can utilize that both to make sure that Jermaine's Flynn Rider doesn't trigger any of its abilities, but also because Sisu will be able to challenge stuff that can be pretty beefy, that has a lot of willpower, so long as she keeps that much strength.
Yeah, so right now, Jermaine, of course, is inking, and she's going to play something, which looks like she played Friends on the Other Side, so that put more cards in her hand, actually. So Sisu is going to be a 7/4 character right now.
Yeah, Sisu is really big. Those Queen's Castles won't stand a chance right now with the Sisu being played, having so much strength, that's for sure. So it'll move on over to Steven, and we'll see what Steven decides to do with their turn 4. They decide to go ahead and sing Friends on the Other Side with Sisu. A pretty safe play, in all honesty. The current characters on board that Jermaine has can't banish the Sisu on their own. Jermaine doesn't have enough ink to be playing a rush character next turn unless they have a Madame M. Fox in hand, but in order to play the Madame M. Fox, they'd have to bounce the character back, and then even if Jermaine challenged with the Madame M. Fox, it would still be banished to the Sisu very likely.
Yeah, this is such an interesting position for Jermaine to be in, I think, with that Sisu. It really changes things to have a character that big out this early in the game.
Yeah, and we can see why it pays off, because Steven is able to play their own Flynn Rider in order to start using their Flynn Rider's abilities with the Sisu having so much strength. And so again, Jermaine's put in this really weird scenario where Jermaine really needs to get rid of the cards in hand to remove that strength from Sisu, and then also play a pretty big character themselves so that Steven doesn't start gaining a bunch of lore.
Now looking at her hand, is there anything that you're spotting here that could help her in this situation right now?
I've been looking for the characters that have the most strength. So
Maui, which she does have there, but not enough ink to play in.
Right, not enough ink to play the Maui, but there's also a Merlin Goat. We also see the Merlin Rabbit, so there's 2 lines we can take here. I believe you could try to play the Merlin Goat and get a character out that has 4 strength. That's not going to be enough to be more than the Sisu in play currently, and you'll only be able to play the Goat for that turn. So the Flynn Rider for Steven will trigger at least this turn, or you can play something like a Merlin Rabbit, start drawing extra cards and trying to find answers for this board.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and that's Sisu. I think that the Ruby Amethyst players are often also playing that shift Sisu. How often do you think that comes into play, or do they just want to keep this Sisu out?
For now, I think you definitely just want to keep this Sisu out because of its ability to gain so much strength. I mean, you have... I mean, it's really tough. It's really tough to play a character that has more than 7 strength or 6 strength, depending on how many cards Jermaine keeps in her hand. And this Sisu is essentially gaining Steven 3 lore every turn as long as it's not banished. Now, you do have to be a little bit concerned as both Ruby Amethyst players start gaining extra ink in their inkwell. They can start playing more answers to something like Sisu, and of course we saw Beeper here last turn, so we know that, last game, so we know that both players are playing them, and they can potentially wipe the board at that point. But you have a couple turns until then, and if you can keep the Sisu and the Flynn Rider both alive and healthy, then I think you just keep the Sisu.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now the other, this is a Teeth and Ambitions.
Yeah, so this is a fun play. Steven is going to play or sing Teeth and Ambitions with the 2-cost Cusco, and then in order to play Teeth and Ambitions, you have to put 2 damage counters on one of your characters. So Steven decides to put those 2 damage counters on the Cusco, which will banish Steven's own Cusco to deal 2 damage to Jermaine, to one of Jermaine's characters. And so
doesn't Cusco also give you a card when he's banished?
Right, exactly. So Steven's able to draw a card off of the Cusco when it's banished. He's able to play Teeth and Ambitions for free because he's sang it with Cusco. and then draw a card off of it and get rid of Jermaine's Flynn Rider, which we talked about just how threatening of a character that can be.
Yeah. Now this was a play I was actually wondering if we were going to see a Queen's Castle come down sooner this game, just knowing that both players have those Be Prepared, because Be Prepared only will banish all characters, but that location is safe if Be Prepared comes down.
Exactly, yeah. This sets up Steven for a really great Be Prepared, honestly, from either side.
Yeah.
If Steven plays enough characters that Jermaine is forced to play Be Prepared, just to deal with all of them, that doesn't get rid of the Queen's Castle, but at the same time, if Steven wants to play Be Prepared, he can easily quest with all of his characters, gain a bunch of lore, and then play that Be Prepared and knows that Queen's Castle is going to be there on the next turn regardless.
Now, Be Prepared, it's a very strong card, but obviously it banishes all your opponents and all your own. So what is the strategy that a player, like the decision-making process there for when to play Be Prepared?
Yeah, so Be Prepared is a card that you really need to play when you're very behind. So there's two scenarios really. There's one where if you're really behind and you can't compete with your opponent's board, they've overextended, which is just a word which means they've played out a bunch of characters, they don't have many cards in their hand. You can play a Be Prepared, immediately banish all of their characters, and then you're putting them in a bad position because they just don't have as many resources to play with after that. On the other hand, if you have something like the Queen's Castle in play and your opponent starts playing really powerful characters, sometimes equal to your own, then you can quest all of your characters, get one last push of lore out of them, and then play the Be Prepared yourself to banish everything, knowing that your Queen's Castle is going to stay around and is likely going to gain a little bit of lore. It's going to be really difficult for your opponent to respond to, especially in these colors of Ruby and Amethyst, like I mentioned before, because they're very likely not going to have an answer that turn for just the Queen's Castle on its own.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that Queen's Castle did not stick around too long. So.
No, we did see Jermaine use the Maui and the Pascal to get rid of the Queen's Castle, which makes sense. We've talked about how strong of a card that is in this matchup specifically. Being able to respond to it is high priority. It's something you really have to do. But we see Steven also develop another Flynn Rider and another Sisu, setting themselves up for an extra free lore at the start of their turn again.
Yeah. What's fun, I think, about these cards too is in the past, it seems like Ruby Amethyst has been a little bit slow to gain lore early in the game, but then really comes in as time goes on. Would you say that these cards kind of have changed that for Ruby Amethyst?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's ways that there's ways that Ruby Amethyst has changed a lot with Ursa's Return, and specifically the addition of something like Flynn Rider. It changes up how your early game goes. So being able to play out the Flynn Rider and then combo it with the Sisu to gain that extra lore and make that push early, it helps the game with what it's trying to do. So the main game plan for Ruby Amethyst is essentially to just gain as much lore as possible as early as you can and finish out with those Merlin goats.
Yep. And a rabbit again. I love that rabbit.
Yeah, we see a lot of Merlin Rabbit being played. There's some fun stuff you can do here where we've mentioned before, Rabbit draws a card every time it enters and leaves play. So if either opponent is able to have a Madame M. Fox or Madame M. Snake that lets them bounce a character back to their hand, you can do some fun stuff like singing with Merlin Rabbit, and then we might even see a Madame M. Fox being played here to bounce Rabbit back to hand, and then drawing another card, and then if Merlin Rabbit's in your hand, you're able to play it again. So that's 3 cards that's drawn at that point.
Yeah.
Merlin Rabbit is an extremely strong draw engine because at minimum, it's going to draw you 2 cards unless the game ends, because it's going to leave play at some point after it enters play.
Right, whether that's in a challenge or Madame Medusa, or I guess Madame Medusa, but like a Lady Tremaine, you would be able to draw a card, or Be Prepared, you would be able to draw a card.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we see Jermaine do, playing the Madame M. Fox, bouncing the rabbit back to hand, and drawing another card. Filling up their hand, the more cards, the better, for the most part. The more cards you have in your hand.
Especially now that the Sisus are off the board, because that was something that, is kind of, you want all those cards in hand to have more options, but when you have a card like Sisu.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Yeah.
The Ruby half of this deck can be really strong because it's a lot of just cards that you can respond to your opponent with. The Madame Medusas, the Lady Tremaines, all the things that you mentioned already, the Be Prepareds that we've seen, all of those are there to respond to your opponent, so that you can keep board control, and the more that you dig into your deck, the more likely you are to find those cards and be able to use them when you need to.
Yeah. Now, that was interesting. Jermaine used her second Madame M. Fox that she drew with that Friends on the Other Side to bounce back Madame Medusa. And I'm assuming that's because she wants to have that in hand to, you know, maybe get rid of something else that Steven plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even Steven having a Merlin Rabbit here on board, and it's being challenged, but unless he bounces it, unless he bounces it back, you don't want to give your opponent an opportunity to say draw extra cards. So the Madame Medusa could be something that you play in response to banish the rabbit if you want to, or you could save it for more threatening characters. Like if Steven decides to play another Flynn Rider, you could easily play the Madame Medusa and banish the Flynn Rider and say, I'm not playing this game. You know, I don't have to worry about how much strength is on my board if I can just get rid of the Flynn Rider himself.
Right. Now, what do you think here? The players are kind of, you know, 6 and 7 lore here. It's middle of the game. Right now, Jermaine has board control, but we've just been seeing it go back and forth, back and forth. What do you think, you know, each of the players are thinking right now?
Yeah, I mean, both players have to prioritize keeping board control. Both players are trying their hardest to gain a little bit of lore.
Or points though, Mir Lena.
6 lore for Jermaine and 7 lore for Steven, and we're multiple rounds into this game. That's because a lot of characters in this deck don't quest for all that much, but it's just a little bit of lore that you can gain every single turn, getting you closer and closer to 20, so that hopefully you can finish out with something like a Merlin Goat or a Flynn Rider getting its trigger off. And that's why we see both of them responding when these powerful cards like Queen's Castles or Flynn Rider ends up being played, just because those are your big lore gainers in the deck. And being an Amethyst, knowing that Merlin Goat is a card that they're very likely playing at least 3, if not 4 of.
Absolutely.
You just don't want to get, you don't want to let them get to 20 lore, or you don't want them to get as close to 20 lore as possible.
Yes. That Teeth and Ambitions card is so much fun, and if anyone doesn't know, that's of course a line from the song Be Prepared.
Yes, yeah. Ruby has quite a few Be Prepared cards. There's also, we got a new one in Essos Return, Be King Undisputed, which sometimes you actually see in these Ruby Amethyst decks, and I think it's super fun that we have the Be Prepared card, we have Teeth and Ambitions, and we have Be King Undisputed.
So much fun.
I'm hoping we just continue to see more cards from that song, and eventually you can just play out the whole song.
The whole song from, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to Be Prepared at 7.
We do see Jermaine has a bunch of cards in her hand, though, and it being her turn, she has a lot that she can do. She only has 6 ink, though, and I don't believe she's inked for the turn.
She does have a couple of flints, maybe? Is that what those are?
I think
behind
so.
Maui?
I think she has a couple of flints and Mauis, which is a pretty strong thing to play because Maui has so much strength, but Jermaine's opting for the Merlin Goat play here, gaining a lore when it enters play, also playing the Flynn Rider and saying, okay, now, Steven, you have to play something that has at least 4 strength, because if not, then I'm going to gain 3 lore that next turn. These are 2 of the big lore gainers in Ruby Amethyst.
Yeah. Now, it looks like she did pass her turn over to Steven, but she did not ink for this turn, so she's still sitting at 6 lore. What do you think her reason is there for not inking up to 7?
I think she's really valuing the cards in her hand right now. She has, it looks like, 5 inkable cards in her hand, so I think she definitely could have inked a card if she wanted to, but I think she's finding these cards too valuable, knowing that she has the Flynn Riders, she wants to keep the Maui so that she can have something that has a bunch of strength that she can play, or if Steven's able to remove this Flynn Rider on board, she has another Flynn Rider that she can play as well.
And then, of course, we don't see Be Prepared in her hand, which is probably one of the only cards in her deck maybe that she would need 7 ink for.
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of much more that you would need a bunch of ink to play in Ruby Amethyst. Some lists play different things, but most Ruby Amethyst lists stay pretty mid-range or tempo-oriented, where there's usually not much more expensive than a Be Prepared. Every now and then you'll see people play the new Sisu, which is technically an unequal 8 cost. But we do see Be King Undisputed being played that we mentioned just a second ago. It forces your opponent to choose a card and banish a card. It's essentially the ability that Lady Tremaine has on her, but just as a song card. So we see Steven play that, and then Tremaine choose the Merlin Goat to banish, and will gain a lore when it leaves play.
I love that he has all 3 of those cards in his deck. That's really fun.
Yeah, all 3 from the song. I mean, they're great cards in this deck. We've talked about how in Ruby a lot of the cards are there just to respond to your opponent and force them to banish some of their cards or help you keep board control. And I mean, they're all doing exactly that. We've seen Steven play Teeth and all 3, Teeth and Ambitions, Be King Undisputed, and Be Prepared. Maybe this game.
All 3 have come out this game.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this is really, he's found the answers here. You know, I think Jermaine is maintain some board control, you know, with her characters, but Steven is finding the answers.
Yeah, it's sort of, it can be kind of an annoying game to play when you're sitting here with these Flynn's. Jermaine keeps playing the Flynn Riders, trying to play characters with high strength, and then Steven just manages to have the exact same character to play against them. Jermaine played the goat previously. Steven had a goat to play to negate the Flynn Rider effects. Then Jermaine dropped another Flynn Rider and a Maui, and Steven was able to play the Maui in response as well. So it doesn't seem like Steven is going to let Jermaine get away with those Flynn Rider triggers, which makes sense. I mean, that would be 6 lore
every turn
in one turn, getting them all the way up to 15 lore, which would be an uncomfortably close lore total to 20.
Now this is interesting. So Maui, of course, has Reckless, which means you have to challenge when able. And so because Jermaine has her own Maui exerted, that means Maui next turn is they're gonna cancel each other out. They're gonna both be banished, and then that's gonna put Jermaine in a nice position with those Flynns. Yes.
Yeah, if Jermaine's able to play another character that has a lot of lore, or sorry, a lot of strength on it, then yeah, absolutely. Jermaine can decide to not exert any of their cards this turn, and then you're right. Steven's Maui would be forced to challenge the current Maui. They would each banish each other, and that would set Jermaine up pretty comfortably. But Jermaine does decide to quest with both Flynn Riders, gaining a little bit of extra lore. So I wouldn't be surprised if Steven decides to challenge the Flynn Riders instead of the Maui.
What do you think about that decision to quest with both Flynns there?
I'm not sure that I love the decision, to be honest, for the reasons that we mentioned earlier. I think if Jermaine were able to just keep those ready, I mean, there's definitely outs that Steven could have, right? Steven could be sitting on a Be Prepared, and then it doesn't matter. And so you might as well quest with the Flynns and get some lore while you can. And maybe that's what Jermaine's trying to play around, is something like a Be Prepared or Madame Medusa, or there's a couple cards that Steven could be playing that could just outright banish the Flynn Riders. But I think sometimes you have to play to win instead of play to not lose. And so I think if it were me, I probably would have kept the Flynn Riders ready and forced Steven to have an answer.
Yeah. And we see another Queen's Castle come down again. We saw how much that came into play last game.
Yeah, and that might be the difference here, because if Jermaine is able to get rid of the Maui, which we see happen here, Steven challenges the Maui with the Pascal, and then decides to challenge one of the Flynn Riders with Maui. Now it's going to be really difficult for Jermaine to banish the Queen's Castle, because currently Jermaine doesn't have enough characters in play to banish it. Jermaine is sitting on 2 Mauis in hand, though, so I imagine we might see one come out just to banish the Queen's Castle.
Yeah, and then once we get rid of the Queen's Castle, then she has that Flynn there, but still Maui has the more strength, so it's kind of not. Flynn is really not doing what he's meant to do, unfortunately.
No, Flynn is unfortunately not getting many triggers off this game, I don't think. It's one of those things when you're playing the same deck against itself. If the opponent can play those same cards with the same amount of strength, then it's difficult to get those Flynn triggers.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that Maui, like you said, coming down with the rush, so she can either go into the Queen's Castle or into the other Maui, I suppose. Those would be her 2 options.
Yeah, and we see Jermaine had a Brawl in hand that she used to banish the Flynn Rider, and then we'll use both the Maui and the Merlin Rabbit to get rid of the Queen's Castle as well. Basically getting rid of Steven's entire board for the most part, and opting to go ahead and quest. Both these players are getting pretty close to 20 lore, which again is where they want to be so they can finish out this game.
Yeah, and of course, if we see any goats come out, then once you start getting up there close to 20, then you know that if you can get some goats bouncing goats, then the game could be closed out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game for the closer, to be honest with you, is whoever can find those goats. And that's why you don't want to let your opponent get to 20 lore too quickly, or get close to 20 lore too quickly. Because once they get to that 15 lore, 16 lore area, then all it takes is 1 or 2 Merlin goats being played and being bounced to finish the game.
Yes. Now, Jermaine has some fun cards here in her hand that she could play. I can see a few different lines. Can you talk about some good options here for her?
Yeah, so Jermaine has another Maui in play, also has a Maui that they could play, also has the Queen's Castle. You could easily challenge Steven's Maui, maybe with one of yours or a rabbit, and then play a Lady Tremaine as well to get rid of Steven's Merlin Rabbit. And we do see the Queen's Castle come down, which I think is really good. It's going to be difficult for Steven to respond to. We've talked a lot about how the Queen's Castle can be really strong. in that regard, and that's kind of what we do. I think Jermaine is just going to decide to take care of Steven's board as much as she can and set herself up to finish out this game. I mean, she has the lead at 15 lore. She only needs a little bit more, and if she can keep a few characters on board to get to that 20, then it'll be game over.
Yeah, so that is, and she's choosing to move her 2 rabbits over to the Queen's Castle, which we've talked about before. For each character that you have at that location, you get to draw a card at the beginning of your turn. So she would get to draw 2 cards then at the beginning of her next turn.
Right. I really like when I see this play happen
it's
because
my favorite. I love it.
The Queen's Castle and the Merlin rabbits are just draw city, because if Steven removes the rabbits from play, either through banishment or any other means, then Jermaine's going to get to draw extra cards. If you don't do that, then Jermaine's going to get to draw the cards because they're at the Queen's Castle. So it's kind of get rid of Queen's Castle or bust.
Yes.
And we see Steven playing a Madam M Fox that is, it looks like it might challenge into the Queen's Castle. It's not going to be enough, though.
Yeah, so he did do 2 damage on the Queen's Castle with the rabbit, and so with the Madam M Fox, it's going to do another 4 damage, so 6 damage, but like you said, not enough. That 7 willpower really is quite a lot.
Yeah, that can be the difference in some games. It's just that 1 extra willpower, and this is where we see that taking effect. Jermaine's going to get to draw an extra 2 cards off the Queen's Castle and gain 2 lore from the Queen's Castle, be able to quest for 2 lore with the Merlin Rabbit, and then all Jermaine needs is a goat in play, and then she'll have game because she'll be at 19. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so she's going to be at 19 at the end of this turn. So it really is just almost 1 card away from a win. And Steven's probably sweating over there wondering, is that goat coming?
Yeah, and we look at just how strong drawing cards in this mirror match can be too. Steven looks like only has 2 cards in hand, maybe 3. Yeah, looks like 3 cards in hand. And Jermaine has been drawing cards all game.
Yes.
And so Jermaine has plenty of other characters that she'll be able to play, even if Steven's able to get rid of everything that she's working with. And I mean, once you're that close to 20, you have to respond to everything and banish everything because they're just too close not to.
Yeah. And if she's at 19 and at the end of this turn she has that castle as well, which of course only has the 6 damage, only one willpower left, so he could deal with that. But then what characters he would have left to deal with the rabbits, he's kind of in a sticky spot right here.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, when you get if you do manage to banish the rabbits, then Jermaine just gets to draw extra cards, getting her even closer to some of those answers she might need to close out the game.
Yeah. Steven is definitely in a sticky spot here, and Jermaine is still thinking of what to do here on her turn. What do you think she's wondering what to do, what play here?
If it were me, I would be considering what my opponent could possibly play for me to lose this game. There's a term that we like to use in TCG called thinking of your outs, and all that essentially means is exactly what I just explained, of thinking of what could my opponent have that could lose me this game. And so, is it worth questing with the rabbits? I think it is. We're going to quest with the rabbits and get up to 19. And then, do I play another character? If I play another character, then my opponent might be able to play Be Prepared and get rid of this Queen's Castle, and then I'm left with nothing. Do I hold characters in hand? We do see Jermaine questing with a rabbit and then bouncing a rabbit with a Madam M Fox and trading with Steven's Madam M Fox, just getting rid of a character that Steven might be able to use to come back from this game. But I think for Jermaine, I'm just thinking, okay, what's Steven's outs? What can I play safely and recover from if I need to, if Steven has an answer to deal with my board for this next turn?
Yeah. And she took care of that little rabbit with the Madame Medusa there to clear Steven's board off, which is great. So unless Steven has something with Rush that can come down here, I think Jermaine's got this one.
Yeah, and I think they're also in turns here, so we see with the dice, but it does look like that Steven says, okay, I'm not going to be able to take this game back before you win, so it's going to go to
Jermaine. Yeah, well played to both players.
Yeah, those mirror matches can be a little bit of a slog, and sometimes it does just kind of come down to which person's able to draw more cards, which person's able to be the aggressor and put that pressure on. I said that the miss on the turn 1 may not have been game losing, but I mean, you never know. It did turn that over to Jermaine, and we saw Jermaine run away with it.
She did, and like you said, she was just able to keep her hand full of cards the whole game. I think that really made a big difference for her.
I do too. She had answers for everything.
Yes. So that was a great round 4. We're going to go ahead and go to the break, And we will see you all soon.
Так, руля, приятики. Хелпи, приятики. Рон Вилонку брат, а он сидит тут сейчас на ФКшечках. Куда мне вниз? А, понял. Так сидеть или идти спать? Сиди и спи. Что-то как-то далеко, нет? А куда я тэпнулась? Вообще куда-то в ебени. Сори, пацаны. Профессор Фиг, мне не интересно, что там пиздят. Рон, приветики. Вот, видал, вот тут. Я всегда знаю, где найти Рона. Че, Рон, завтра фильмец? Бля, я хочу Барби теперь тоже посмотреть. Рон сегодня Барби смотрел, я хочу Барби посмотреть. Как ваши дела? Разделился? Понял. Да, Рон, в смысле Барби. Окей, значит завтра ебанем. Барби мне что-то так себе понравилось. А мне понравилось, прям мультик детства. Кул, купчан, приятики. А что-то женский чат, блядь, хуярит, блядь, что меня это фонберирует, пиздец. Какое-то обсуждение в чате пошло. Ёб твою мать. Нежелание на сердца на любовь залететь в следующую среду можно. Можно. А в качестве кого? В качестве невесты или жениха? Я, кстати, ну, тоже не ебаю, прошлый ее дречь в игре, ну, в душе не ебаю, блядь. Я, кажется, сажу в зал, и после зала посижу с тобой, когда начнется, в принципе, самый адекватный мульт, который можно было заказать. Я че ебу? Я напишу тебе потом. ББ, не бывает. Но мне вино уже всучили, когда проебал моменты. А вот нехуй вино пить. Информативненько. А куда уёбу дели? Куда Лёху дели? Бля, Лёха, ебаный рот. Сказала та, кто вино только их лечит, неправда. А, меня, короче, переодели в директора, перевоплотили, чтоб я зашла туда, куда нельзя. А что? Типично Лёха. Неправда, я не пью вино. Мартини не пью. Ну, в плане, сейчас не пью вино, типа. Пиво, от пива живот появляется, нет. Я вообще, в принципе, не пью. Дочь, я не въебываю, что происходит, типа по сюжету очень интересно, нихуя не понимаю. Водичка, водичка, вот водичка нормальная. Спрыгнуть могу? Нет, не могу спрыгнуть. Переметнуться могу? Бля, Хогвартс. Только заметил. Хорош, блядь. Не, никуда переметнуться не могу, придется идти. И сегодня вся моя еда — это вода, ну да.
Welcome back, Lumineers.
Welcome back.
We just got done with round 4, and we're moving right on into round 5. We're about halfway through with day 1.
Yes, and it's been such an exciting day. We've seen a lot of amazing decks. It's been so much fun, and I can't wait to see some more matches. That last one was kind of a doozy, it felt like.
Yeah, there were to mention, I mean, these mirror matches can be really intricate and complex. So they can be really fun to cast and to watch sometimes, because a lot of times it might come down to the single card that you play or don't play, or ink on turn one, or you know, if you don't find your one drop. So
did you feel like it was maybe the coup of the century?
It might have been the coup of the century. I see what you did there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but we do have more matches to get to here for round 5. So what do you say?
I'm ready to jump in.
Let's do it.
All right.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger.
So our first match of round 5, we have Mikey, player 1, and we have Heather over here for player 2. And we definitely have some emerald going on the board here.
Yeah, I definitely see Heather playing an emerald steel deck, and it looks like Mikey is playing a sapphire. I think I saw ruby in the hand. Yeah, we see a Flynn Rider there.
Ruby. Now, before we get too far in this game, talk a little bit about this sapphire ruby deck combination. I know that this has been kind of one of the ones that to be on the lookout for with the new set.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you had to really put decks into certain tiers, both Emerald Steel and Ruby Sapphire decks are the two decks at the top. The Ruby Sapphire deck is one looking to ramp really quickly, which is just a fancy word that means gaining ink faster than your opponent can ink per turn. So usually inking multiple cards per turn. We see Mikey have a one jump ahead and a fishbone quill in their hand. We'll see if Heather decides to get rid of the one jump ahead. I can't tell if there's another song. There's Be Prepared. Okay, so Heather decides to get rid of the Be Prepared instead. The one jump ahead is a card that would let Mikey take the top card of their deck, put it into their inkwell, face down, and exert it. And the fishbone quill is an item that lets you exert the item and then put any card from your hand into the inkwell. So both of these cards are a great example of ramp. It lets Mikey get a bunch of ink really quickly so that they can start playing really big and powerful characters a lot faster than Heather would be able to just by inking once per turn. The Ruby Sapphire deck usually closes out with these really large characters and another item called Lucky Dime that we don't see in the hand. But Lucky Dime is a card that it's a really expensive item card. It's uninkable, and then once it's in play, you can spend 2 ink, exert the card, and you can gain lore off of any of your own characters. So it's a way to gain a lot of lore really fast. But speaking of going really fast, Heather is playing a bunch of characters out on board, which is a great counter to something like Ruby Sapphire. Ruby Sapphire is a really slow deck generally because you're trying to ramp this first couple of turns. You're sort of ignoring what the opponent's doing, and Heather knows this. So Heather's playing out the Pegasus, which is an evasive card that Heather will be able to quest with pretty easily. Then the Ursula on turn 2, and then now the Diablo on turn 3, which is a pretty strong card. Diablo is a Floodborn card that when Diablo is exerted, on your opponent's turn, every time they draw a card, you get to draw a card.
Yeah, the Diablo didn't come down as shift, so unfortunately she doesn't get to use that ability right now. But Mikey doesn't have any characters on the board yet, so
yeah, so it's going to be difficult for Mikey to deal with for sure. And Diablo and Pegasus are evasive too, so even if Mikey had a character on board, unless it was able to challenge evasive characters, it might be difficult to get rid of them too. And I'll be honest, McDuck Manor, I don't think it's really going to help anything.
No.
McDuck Manor is a really big location, and it has 9 willpower and 2 lore, so a location will gain you lore at the start of your turn, every turn. But it can't challenge any characters, so...
It cannot. It can help Mikey gain lore, though, so at least he doesn't, even though he doesn't have any characters, he can be gaining lore each turn, because that 9 willpower, I mean, we've talked about Queen's Castle being hard to deal with, but McDuck Manor, that's...
Yeah, exactly, and especially in a deck like Emerald Steel that typically doesn't have characters that have a ton of strength. We do see a Beast Tragic Hero in Heather's hand. If Beast Tragic Hero is played and Beast Tragic Hero has damage on it, then Beast Tragic Hero would have a total of 7 strength. But playing against a Ruby deck, that's very unlikely to happen because Ruby Sapphire usually just outright banishes cards and usually doesn't keep stuff damaged. So Heather might have a difficult time finding a response to this McDuck Manor, but she may not have to if she's able to just quest out pretty aggressively and get to 20 before Mikey can really get set up.
Yeah, and we see Mikey again. He's playing Fishbone Quill, which is a great item card to ramp up, but still not having any characters on board. How do you think this is going to affect Mikey's outlook for the rest of the game?
So I think Mikey really needs to hold on to that Hiram Flaversham that they have in hand, which Hiram Flaversham will banish an item when played and will also banish an item when, or can banish an item when questing. And if you do banish an item, you get to draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
One of the things about a deck that likes to ramp, especially one that plays Fishbone Quill, you're putting a lot of cards from your hand either in play or into your inkwell, so you run out of cards in your hand very quickly. And so Mikey's going to have to start drawing cards pretty quickly. The problem is that Diablo on Heather's side of the board, as long as that Diablo is not dealt with, every time Mikey draws a card, say from a Hiram Flaversham, Heather's going to get to draw a card too.
Yes, and we do see that Beast come down, which is such a great card, and is going to give Heather some extra draw. As long as he remains undamaged, you get to draw an extra card at the start of your turn for Beast, which is going to really do Heather a lot of favors. Mikey, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, Heather is full steam ahead here with the board that she's presenting. Beast also has 2 lore, so you don't always want to quest with him just so that Beast stays healthy and doesn't gain any damage. But we do see Heather challenge the McDuck Manor with all of her characters, dealing a total of 6 damage to the McDuck Manor, leaving only 3 remaining instead of questing, which is interesting, I think, because I think Heather's definitely in a position where she could just quest out if she wanted to. It doesn't matter too much because it really, as long as that Diablo is exerted, that's all you care about for the most part. But I think that was an interesting play. I think she's valuing this McDuck Manor and saying, you know what, this isn't a problem right now, but I'm not very close to 20 lore yet, and Mikey's ramping very, very quickly. And we know that Mikey's playing Ruby, which means that Mikey probably has access to something like Be Prepared, and if I just quest every turn, and then they Be Prepared and have a McDuck Manor and a bunch of other characters in play, then it's going to be really difficult for Heather to keep up, or at least slow Mikey down.
Sure, that's a really good point. Yeah, that McDuck Manor, you definitely want to take care of it while you can before something like a Be Prepared comes down.
Yeah, and that's where locations can be a little bit tricky in Disney Lorcana because although they gain lore at the start of the turn, sometimes they can be pretty difficult to deal with. And if you say, I won't deal with this right now, I'll deal with it later, you know, they gain that lore every little bit at a time. And so it starts adding up quickly. And then before you know it, when the opponent finally can respond to your board, you didn't take care of those locations. And so now they're a real problem and you don't really have a way to get rid of it.
Yes, and we see another location come down here. Can you see what that is?
Yeah, that looks like an RLS Legacy, which I haven't seen this played in quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
It's an uninkable 4-cost card that has 8 willpower and 2 lore. It has a move cost of 3, so when you move a character to a location, you usually have to pay a certain cost. And you want to move characters to RLS Legacy because when you do, they gain evasive. So this is going to be a great way for Mikey to be able to deal with the Pegasus that we see on Heather's side of the board, as well as the Diablo.
Absolutely. Yeah, because she's up to this point, she's been really safe with questing or challenging with all of her characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see Heather play the Ursula Deceiver just to see what one card is in Mikey's hand. And it's another RLS Legacy, which means Heather knows that Mikey doesn't have much to respond with, so she can play kind of wide now. That's kind of the goal that you want to do with Emerald Steel is play wide, get a bunch of lore as fast as you can before your opponent finds those answers. But we do see her deciding to banish the McDuck Manor. She's going to play... I'm sorry, we don't talk about Bruno on Hiram, which will put Hiram in Mikey's hand, and they have to randomly discard a card. So Mikey will either discard the Hiram or the RLS Legacy.
And let's see what it is. Osha is rolling a dice. I think that's a fun way. So she probably did like evens odds or something in this case. So,
yeah,
it's supposed to be random.
Right. It's a great way to actually randomize the choice. Mikey just shuffled the cards in his hand, put them out on the table, labeled one in some fashion, and she rolled for it. Didn't end up getting rid of the Hiram, which I think is interesting because Hiram's one of the draw engines for Ruby Sapphire, and we see that Mikey's struggling currently to keep cards in his hand. So he's going to play another RLS Legacy and a Felicia.
Felicia has Rush, doesn't she?
Felicia has Reckless.
Oh, Reckless.
Yeah,
okay.
so she doesn't have Rush, but she is required to challenge at the start or at some point during your turn. If you can challenge, you're supposed to challenge with her.
And it looks like he did pay the 3 ink move cost to put Felicia at RLS Legacy, which then gives that character evasive. So now that puts her Pegasus and Diablos into a little bit of jeopardy here.
Right, now if Heather decides to quest with Diablo or Pegasus, Mikey should be able to challenge them with Felicia unless Heather has some sort of answer. Because she is playing Steel, so there is a chance that she has a couple Steel removal action cards. And we do see her play a Tinkerbell, which is going to do 1 damage to all of Mikey's characters. Mikey only has the single Felicia character, and Felicia only has the 1 willpower.
Yep,
so.
she's a 3/1, so she does a lot can do some damage, but you can get rid of her pretty easily.
Yeah, and now Heather's in another interesting scenario where she has a ton of characters on board, a ton of lore on board, really, but she's also staring down those 2 RLS legacies, and so both of those have 2 lore each, which means they would gain, Mikey would gain 4 lore at the start of his turn.
And she did take out one of them, it looks like, with the Beast and Pegasus maybe, but then she's questing with a few others. So I think that was a good call to not leave both on the board.
Yeah, because Heather actually has enough lore on board currently where she can completely quest out the next turn and win even after getting rid of the RLS legacy. So I think there she was just thinking about what might go wrong, playing to her outs, and says, okay, I'll get rid of the RLS legacy in case Mikey does draw what he needs to say, be prepared, get rid of my board, and then I can respond. So yeah, good playing from both players.
Both players, yeah, and it seems like Mikey just wasn't getting the cards that he wanted. We know how strong Ruby Sapphire can be, but he just was not drawing the cards that he needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a really difficult time drawing cards, and of course, if you don't have any cards in hand, there's not a lot that you can do.
Not a lot you can do. Well, hopefully Mikey can get some better cards this next game, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, let's move on to game 2 and see how that goes.
Yeah, Emerald Steel is super fun. My son actually plays that deck.
It's a really fun deck, and it's a really strong deck, to be honest with you. I understand why there's a lot of people playing it here, and the same thing for Ruby Sapphire. The deck can be really strong when you find the cards that you need to find. Mikey was able to find a lot of that ramp, found the 1 jump ahead, and was able to play the Fishbowl and Quill, but just couldn't find the draw cards to keep the hand full. And of course, it didn't help that the Diablos were out there on board, allowing Heather to draw cards as well.
Diablos. Yeah, he had so much ink, but then didn't have the characters to actually play.
Exactly. Again, with the Beast Tragic Hero as well, drawing those extra cards too. At the end of the day, it sometimes just comes down to who can draw the most cards.
Yes, absolutely. Well, are we ready to jump into the next game? Let's do it.
It's good to see you.
Who do you think is going to have the advantage going into this next game?
So it does look like, oh man, I think it'll depend on if Mikey's able to both ramp really quickly and then get rid of Heather's board, because Heather has the ability to start really strong. We saw her do that in game 1, but that requires Mikey to find really quick answers like Be Prepared. There's a lot of cards in Heather's deck that only have 2 strength or more, so being able to play a really big Sisu would be pretty strong just to get rid of the board. If he can't find any of those answers, then it's going to be really difficult for Mikey. We do see the Sisu in hand already.
Both Sisus.
Yeah. Both Sisus being played. It looks like Mikey went first and played a Develop Your Brain, which allows him to look at the top 2 cards of his deck, choose one to put in his hand, and then put the other on the bottom. Just one way to filter through the deck, find those cards that you need to.
Yeah, Develop Your Brain, I have to say that I underestimated the value of that card. Can you talk a little bit about